have to follow God, and if I, don't obey my parents and everything they do, no matter how, awful it sounds, I'm not obeying God. And so that was put into me. That's why it's so important to have a relationship with God for yourself, because man, a lot of times, perverts the word of God for their particular vision. So it's always important to have your own personal relationship with God and not let people tell you who God is to you and for you. Now, there is medical abuse. Refusing to allow victim to seek attention for medical attention for illness or injuries. Refusing victim access to medication or medical assistance devices like walker, cane. Forcing victim to take certain medications. Coercing victim to lie to medical professionals in order to get a prescription for the perpetrator. Threatening to reveal private medical conditions and shaming them for medical conditions. Now there is stalking and harassing, showing up at their place of work, either to watch or confront and cause a scene, following them, acts of vandalism designed to incur expenses and instill fear, such as slashing tires, breaking windows in home or car, writing insults on home, workplace, or vehicle, recruiting friends, family members, and others to track activities as well, harassing their friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, leaving unwanted gifts, flowers, or other items at the victim's home, work, or vehicle. Now, going down to that last one, people will brush over this and feel like, oh, they're just a nice person. Why are you upset that they're giving you gifts? My husband, because they get personal with it. Oh, my husband doesn't give me gifts. I would love for my husband to give you gifts, but they don't understand they're, an abusive person. They can't be that abusive giving you gifts. So there you go. There you go. Giving the person that's trying to transition on a relationship, because it's already hard. Because when you get out, you still have the thought of, oh, I want to go back. Maybe they can change. Maybe they can change. So when there is an external person that's like, oh, it can't be that bad. They're not in the dynamic, so they don't know, but they assume that they do. And so it's like, oh, it's fine. They're giving you gifts, flowers. Oh, I wish my wife would remember that. But they don't know what comes with those flowers. They don't know what comes with those gifts, which is full terror, okay? Honor-based violence. And that is coercing, convincing, and or encouraging extended family members and friends to shame and abuse the victim, using cultural and or religious grounds to justify violence against girls and women, maiming and or killing the victim to restore honor to the family, rejecting and shunning victim in an attempt to control their behavior, forcing the victim to stay inside the home against their will. Okay? Now, using technology to abuse. Vilifying them on social media by spreading lies and or gossip and rumors. Monitoring all of their phones and email texts to control their behaviors and isolate them socially. Sometimes by secretly installing keystroke logging software. Posting exploitive photos or videos without their consent to humiliate and hurt them. Harassing texts, emails, and messages that threaten, intimidate, and terrify her. Often these occur throughout the night to disrupt their sleep and maximize negative impact. Recruiting friends, family members, and others to harass and intimidate them via text, email, social media, etc. Using GPS and other online apps to track whereabouts, so they can show up and stalk or scare them by letting them know that they are tracking them, using apps to track their spending and control money, setting up false accounts on social media sites to gain access to them and information on whereabouts, friends, or family, hacking into victims' accounts, email, banking, social media profiles to access info, post inappropriate things as a victim to get them in trouble, posting victims' contact info and sharing it widely so they are inundated with spam, threatening messages, frightening, inappropriate images, videos, messages. Now, this happened to me during and after I broke up my abusive relationship, because what ended up happening is that during the relationship, again, just like the social security number, oh, we should have each other's passwords. I need your passwords because we should trust each other, right? So, gave them the password, so he reviewed everything. He deleted most of the male friends on my Facebook, and he fought me on it, talking about, oh, you can't, I don't have to do it with the girls, but you have to do it because we're supposed to be, you're supposed to be in love, and we're supposed to be in a serious relationship. Now, when I broke up with him, he had my account information. I did not think to change my account information before breaking up with him, which is what I should have done. So, again, with taking parts of your positions, identity, or what have you, you totally change your passwords. So I was locked out of my Facebook and other social media sites. I was unable to use them ever again. I tried to get in and out of those things so many times, but to no avail. I could not get into them. So what did I do? Create a new Facebook. And I finally get a new Facebook because he shut mine down. Basically, if I can't have you, nobody else will. So he shut me down. I started a new Facebook profile. All of a sudden, he makes all these. He made 3, 4, or 5 profiles as another person, just to try to talk to me, to act like he was friends of his or classmates or weird people, to try to get back with me. Say, oh, he's so upset, that you broke up with him. I did have an actual friend of his threaten to beat me up because I broke up with him and did not have sex with him. So she was someone at the school. She said she was going to beat me up because I broke up with him and didn't have sex with him. Did I get beat up? No. She did not say anything to me when she actually saw me. But it's neither here nor there. Then we go into the last attempt, and it was so outrageous. He acted as if he was a movie producer, and because he was like into acting and things like that, he acted like he was a movie producer, and he was like, I'm trying to get some votes on this film, to see who should I put in this film. So if you can review this film for me and let me know if you like it or not. So all of a sudden the video comes up. I click on it, and guess what? My ex is in the video. And so then I'm like, okay, You keep on trying to invade my privacy and push through boundaries. And that's what abusers do. They won't take no for an answer, and they want complete control over you. So they will intimidate you, they'll have others intimidate you, they'll use technology against you and things like that. It's just a horrible dynamic. Now, using the judicial system to abuse. So filing numerous motions, often at the last possible minute, to force court proceedings to go on for a long time, threatening and intimidating looks and demeanor in the courtroom, hallways, and parking lots to instill fear in the victim, applying for sole custody despite never have been the primary caregiver for the purpose of scaring the parent, agreeing to a motion, then applying to change it or revoking agreement, often at the last possible moment. Okay. Now let's get into the sexual abuse. These are the ones that is widely known about, but I still want to get deeper into it. So, sexualized abuse. Emotionally pressuring them to have sex when they don't want to. Physically forcing them to have sex. Emotionally pressuring them or forcing them to have sex with other people, animals, or objects. Threatening to out them if gay or bisexual, demanding they wear more or less provocative clothing, denying their sexuality, making degrading sexual comments, making threats if they don't comply with sex, forcing them to have sex for money or participate in pornography, threatening to expose intimate details or photos, having sex with them while they are asleep or unconscious. Now, we're going to go into physical abuse. Slapping, hitting, kicking, biting, or punching, pushing, grabbing, throwing, or shoving, driving recklessly with them in the car, causing bruises, cuts, broken bones, preventing them from leaving the room, locking them in or out of the home, abandoning them in an unsafe place, hurting others they love, children, pet, family, friends, throwing, hitting, kicking, burning, or smashing objects, furniture, walls, dishes, possessions, threatening to become physically abusive towards her or those that she or he loves, choking, strangling, cutting off air supply, using a knife, gun, or other weapon, attempting to murder them, and victims may experience any other number of examples of physical abuse. Okay? So that is just some examples of the types of abuse that do occur. And I say sexual and physical for last because usually the other ones that I listed come before the sexual and physical abuse occurs, because they gradually break you down until you feel like nothing. And that's when they usually decide to physically strike. And again, when it comes down to it, every abuse story is different. There's some people that get abused within 2 or 3 months. There's those that were in a marriage for 10 years and then all of a sudden they start being physically abusive.